El rugby se juega en un terreno limitado entre las líneas de touch y las líneas de goal, de un máximo de 100 metros de largo. El área de juego no puede medir más de 70 metros de ancho. Los in-goal son las zonas delimitadas por las líneas de touch, las líneas de goal y la línea final. Otras líneas del terreno son la línea de 22 metros, la de 40 y la línea de mitad de cancha. La distancia entre los dos postes es de 5,60 metros. La barra transversal está situada a 3 metros de altura. Un equipo de rugby cuenta con 8 forwards, 2 pilares y un hooker en primera línea, 2 jugadores en segunda línea, un tercer línea u octavo y 2 wing forwards. Detrás de ellos está el medio scrum y el apertura. Son los encargados de organizar la ofensiva de un equipo y forman la línea junto a 2 centros, 2 wings y un fullback. Se hace un try cuando se apoya el balón con las manos, brazos o pecho en el in-goal del adversario. Vale 5 puntos. La conversión de ese try vale 2 puntos y consiste en patear el balón desde la altura en la que se lo marcó. El balón debe pasar entre los 2 postes por encima de la barra transversal.
La ciencia del jabón. Así es como mata el coronavirus. Los desinfectantes a base de alcohol también son efectivos, pero el jabón es una forma muy eficiente de matar el virus cuando está en la piel. Los virus pueden estar activos fuera del cuerpo durante horas, incluso días. Los desinfectantes, líquidos, toallitas, geles y cremas que contienen alcohol son útiles para eliminarlos, pero no son tan buenos como el jabón normal. Las autoridades de salud nos han estado dando 2 mensajes. Una vez que tiene el virus, no hay medicamentos que puedan matarlo o ayudarlo a deshacerse de él. Pero también, lávese las manos para detener la propagación del virus. Esto parece extraño. No puede, ni por $1 millón, obtener un medicamento para el coronavirus, pero la pastilla de jabón de su abuela mata el virus. Entonces, ¿por qué el jabón funciona tan bien en el SARS-CoV-2, el coronavirus y, de hecho, la mayoría de los virus? La historia corta. Porque el virus es una nanopartícula autoensamblada en la que el eslabón más débil es la bicapa lipídica, grasa. El jabón disuelve la membrana grasa y el virus se desmorona como un castillo de naipes y muere, o más bien, deberíamos decir que se vuelve inactivo ya que los virus no están realmente vivos. La historia un poco más larga es que la mayoría de los virus consisten en 3 bloques de construcción clave: ácido ribonucleico, ARN, proteínas y lípidos. Una célula infectada por virus produce muchos de estos bloques de construcción, que luego se autoensamblan espontáneamente para formar el virus. Críticamente, no hay enlaces covalentes fuertes que mantengan estas unidades juntas, lo que significa que no necesariamente necesita productos químicos fuertes para separar esas unidades. Cuando una célula infectada muere, todos estos nuevos virus escapan y luego infectan otras células. Algunos terminan también en las vías respiratorias de los pulmones. Cuando tose, o especialmente cuando estornuda, pequeñas gotas de las vías respiratorias pueden volar hasta 10 metros. Se cree que los más grandes son los principales portadores de coronavirus y pueden alcanzar al menos 2 metros. Estas pequeñas gotas terminan en las superficies y a menudo se secan rápidamente. Pero los virus permanecen activos. La piel humana es una superficie ideal para un virus. Es orgánico y las proteínas y los ácidos grasos en las células muertas de la superficie interactúan con el virus. Cuando toca, por ejemplo, una superficie de acero con una partícula de virus, se adherirá a su piel y, por lo tanto, se transferirá a sus manos. Si luego se toca la cara, especialmente los ojos, las fosas nasales o la boca, puede infectarse. Y resulta que la mayoría de las personas se tocan la cara una vez cada 2 o 5 minutos. Lavar el virus con agua sola podría funcionar. Pero el agua no es buena para competir con las interacciones fuertes y similares al pegamento entre la piel y el virus. El agua no es suficiente. El agua jabonosa es totalmente diferente. El jabón contiene sustancias similares a las grasas conocidas como anfifílicos, algunas de las cuales son estructuralmente muy similares a los lípidos en la membrana del virus. Las moléculas de jabón compiten con los lípidos en la membrana del virus. Así es más o menos como el jabón también elimina la suciedad normal de la piel. El jabón no solo afloja el pegamento entre el virus y la piel, sino también las interacciones similares a velcro que mantienen juntas las proteínas, los lípidos y el ARN en el virus. Los productos a base de alcohol, que incluyen casi todos los productos desinfectantes, contienen una solución de alcohol de alto porcentaje, típicamente etanol al 60 al 80%, y matan los virus de manera similar. pero el jabón es mejor porque solo necesita una cantidad bastante pequeña de agua jabonosa, que, al frotar, cubre toda su mano fácilmente. Mientras que literalmente necesita remojar el virus en etanol por un breve momento, y las toallitas o frotar un gel en las manos no garantiza que empape cada rincón de la piel en sus manos de manera suficientemente efectiva. Por lo tanto, el jabón es el mejor, pero use desinfectante a base de alcohol cuando el jabón no sea práctico o práctico. Esta noticia toma como base la información aparecida en www.theguardian.com. Tenemos un pequeño favor que pedirte. Cada vez más personas, como usted, leen y apoyan estas noticias. Esperamos que considere apoyarnos, y solo lleva un minuto compartir con tus amigos y familiares. Gracias.
Ya tenés water última. Ok, igual a water. ¿Qué te refieres?
Abrió.
Subí, Eric.
Abrió.
Santa. ¿Con metro?
Tranquilo. Oye, Marco está acá. Acá está Marco. Marco está acá. Marco.
Ayúdale, Cari, Juanjo, ayúdenle a Cóndor ahí.
¡Tomaste! ¡Ya! ¡Quieto! ¡Quieto! ¡Vaya, forward!
Quédate, Lucas, quédate acá, Lucas.
¡Directa! Trae. Linda. Jugamos acá primero, ¿ok? Jugamos acá, patera. Al negro. Llegamos más, todo ahí. ¿Cantidad? Hacer la misma, Ana, y adelante.
No, perdón, George, no, me bro. Se cierra. Mario, petito.
Qué bárbaro.
¡Arriba!
Qué bárbaro.
¡Arriba, Juanjo! ¡Arriba, anda subiendo!
¡No la hagas, puta!
¡A la parte! Ahí está.
Lautaro, pegad. Buen bingo. ¡Medio! ¡Sí!
Ah, es el no, mira.
Tengo camera.
¡Vamos! ¡Trae la pelota!
Hola. Después, ¿qué haces? ¿Eh? Una gradería arriba, una gradería arriba. Vale, ¿no?
Ya, quietos, quietos.
Mira qué pelota no es.
Vamos a buscar esa pelota.
No, no entré porque no quería pelar. ¿Qué? ¡Puta!
¿A quién quiere ir en eso? A la barra. ¿Le cae? Yo no sé, me voy a ir mañana. ¿Te puedo dejar a vos el qué? El redoble. ¿Te puedo dar y voy yo mañana? A la... Yo no sé si... ¿Qué?
¡Vamos, Chino!
Piensa que están en un canal derecho es donde chocan. ¡Bien!
¡La ventaja!
Tranquilo, tranquilo, bien. Segundo, otra vez, Honor. Villas, tómate. Ya. ¡Barre, Mario!
Vale, abajo. Pantalla.
¡Viva! ¡Una pelota en la mano!
Stun, el 20 está pegando.
Si van a cantar así, en serio no canten nada. No le vamos a poner ganas, espera.
Luisón. Ahí está.
Lo queremos, lo queremos. Sí. ¡Sáquenle eso!
Yo tomé audio ahora que era el último tingo de estaba despegado de por eso encima fue así al último día me iba a abrir
¿Por qué han mandado?
ahora tengo el tipo
¡Bravo!
no me lo dejo jugar,
¡Ya le agarró! ¡Ya rompe! ¡Buena Tucu! ¡Bien Tucu! ¡Buena bola! Alex. Santiago. Mario Santiago. Corona. Santiago. Pejo.
¡Adelante, va atrás!
¡Dale! ¡Mario atrás! ¡Adelante! ¡Jugate la bota, Uva!
Ya los 20 está
¿Cómo va a ser parcial eso?
Qué pobreza, qué mal estamos. No va a agarramos el
¡Abajo!
¡Arriba!
Huevo, mira ahí.
¡Bien, Lucas!
Dale, suban ahí.
¡Uy, Robert! ¡Tuya, Robert! ¡Ayúdale, Mario! ¡Ayúdale, Mario! ¡Dale! ¡Bien! ¡Dale, Luca! ¡Vamos, Robert! ¡Vamos, Robert! ¡Vamos, Robert! ¡Cari! ¡Fuera al piso, boludo!
¡Déjate coger la bola! ¡Qué
Siempre está matando por
No Pesaresi que había traído más bien.
Ya, sí. 1 minuto y medio.
Sí, le ves mano a la vida.
Y se va a jugar ahora, amigo.
A la tía Miguel.
Yo puse todo. Ya, quieto, quieto.
Paro nuevo, loco. Ah, la cabeza de tía. Paro nuevo, Tiene más años que... Tipo, incluso no se creyó el faro ya estaba.
¡Vámonos, Maricento! ¡Arriba!
¿Quién abrió de ahí? No abrió.
¡Vámonos, perro! ¡Vamos, Robert!
Me voy apretando, eso que dicen eso todo. Aprieta ahí.
Hace un hexa, 23, 90, 10.
Putería, bro. Quiero hacerlo. Ah, no,
¡Santa!
¿Qué le pasa, Peque?
Se entrena el cuerpo.
Por la cara, pero estudiante que no parece bien, no es un médico, tenemos esa ética de que ir a cumplir ese trabajo. ¡Vamos, Chino! ¡Vamos, Chino, carajo! ¡Vamos, Dios! Se van a andaba estudiante, después su estudiante se cayó. ¿Qué clase? Todo blanco. Todo negro. Para la facha nomás está de blanco. Para la facha estudia. Yo soy doctor de verdad y alguien se cae. Yo me voy a ir, yo veo un animal ahí, voy a ir a cantarle. Vamos a ver. Oh, arriba, señor. Aquí está. Cambio vivo, a ver cómo empezamos. Doper ahí, vamos a ver. Subimos rápidamente. Goma, boludo. Una bala. ¡Qué bárbaro! ¡Ya, amigo! Me regaló un cumpleaños, ya, quieto, quieto. ¡Bien, Chino!
¡De frente!
¡Bien, Chino!
Ya,
No. ¡Vamos, Chino! ¡Vamos, Chino! ¡Dale con él! ¡Arriba! ¡Arriba! ¡Arriba!
En toda hora. En toda
¡Ladrón! Señor, no puede taclar el piso, payaso. ¡Joder, inútil! ¡Estas son inútil! ¡Oh! ¡Idiota! Delante de la amarilla cuando... ¡Paso! Delante de la amarilla. ¡Vamos, Claudio, carajo!
Tiene que hacer un punto en el radio. Uno que uno o dos, dependiendo de como cirujano que sabe cómo y acá ya está grande.
¿Cómo vivís cerca
¡Da la ventaja! ¡Abrí! ¡Ahí está! ¡Chino! ¡Chino!
el Rugby.
Se veía un tackle abajo.
Todo lo pruebas van a llevar una
No, si es que como alguien toca ahí, ¡bum! Viene abajo,
que a él lo le
tengo video todavía ahí en la locomotora. Lima. Mañana. Me voy a llevar la propia volumen. Mentira,
Sí, a vos.
No, después se rompió el video. Ahí no es. Tampoco es que vamos a tener otra vez. Puede estar.
¡Vamos, negro! ¡Vamos, chino! ¡Vamos, chino! ¡Vamos, Claudio! ¡Vamos, Claudio! ¡Sale! ¡Arriba! De las 4 de la tarde hasta la 1:30 o 2 de la mañana. De las 4 de la tarde.
Nosotros íbamos antes a jugar
Y tiene
una madera.
ahí, boludo. Ahora hay 3 ambientes ya, boludo.
Ahora vos te vas a caer.
¿Ves un drogo? Vamos a ver, vamos a ir la renta. Bueno, si todos están siguiendo y no hacen nada. ¿De quién es? ¿Este abajo? ¿Quién es de? No. Hijo. Ah, qué lindo, lindo. No. Ahí ya se tenía que lanzar ya uno. ¡No! Se abrieron todo el estaba libre para la ventaja o no.
Bien, Renzo.
Uno se llama toro y otro es caballo. Pues dije, en el club, el toro de pick and go. Algo así,
¿Qué fue tu colectivo? No, yo también.
Perdón, ay, sí, derecho.
¡Atrás!
Nosotros le damos a relación, derecho.
¿Dónde tomaron?
Vamos ¡vení, Claudio! Rápido, con la pelota en la mano, pero rápido, tiene velocidad final.
¡A ver, Renzo!
¡Anda! ¡Todo! ¡Cuidado, Claudio!
¡Penalazo!
¡Acercate, Claudio! ¡Ayúdale! ¡Me gusta que lo parió! No se entiende un chino y grillo. ¿Quién va a bajar? Le pasaba la cuña. No fue la con. ¿No jugaba acá? Drop. ¡Pedile, Claudio!
¿No voy a jugar? Porque tengo otro compromiso.
Maxi, dale. ¿Qué compromiso? ¿Qué tipo de compromiso?
Iglesia.
Según mis cálculos, 45, 17 fue. No, 45,
Maxi.
24. Según mis cálculos.
Se toman decisiones y la vía de continuar en otro lugar. Este fue el próximo partido con esta camiseta, este año al menos. Y nada, agradecerle a todos los de la casa, a todos los que se sumaron. Sé que desde el primer día que estuve acá hice lo correcto, entonces me voy con mucha amistad y con el sabor del deber cumplido, ¿verdad? Porque no me sobró nada en ningún partido. Y agradecerle a todos, ¿verdad? Agradecerle a todos y sigan por este camino, ¿verdad? Como le dije a más de uno acá, boludo, esto es rugby, esto es pasión, esta es nuestra vida, boludo, y en algún momento nos podemos volver a encontrar, boludo, ¿sí? Entonces, cada vez que entremos a una cancha y que haya una pelota y tengamos esta camiseta, primero respetemos la camiseta, boludo. Y después le respetamos al compañero y después nos respetamos nosotros mismos, ¿sí? Y por sobre todo, nunca nos olvidemos de disfrutar, boludo. Nunca nos olvidemos de disfrutar, al fin y al cabo esto es un juego, ¿sí? Y hay que disfrutar cada fin de semana del talento que tenemos, boludo, porque por algo estamos acá y no estamos haciendo otra cosa. ¿Sí? Por algo no somos futbolistas o no somos otra cosa y estamos jugando acá a raíz y decir que algo estamos haciendo bien. ¿Sí? Entonces, por mi parte agradecerle a todos, al presidente, al expresidente, a los entrenadores, al capitán, a todos los que son de la Asunción, a todos los que se sumaron conmigo, ¿sí? Y nada, boludo, muchas gracias por todo y en algún momento nos vamos a volver a encontrar. Vamos.
Bien. Pesaresi adelantó, yo no sabía que él iba a tocar el tema de estar acá con ustedes. Está bien que toque acá con el grupo de jugadores, es muy importante que toque eso con sus compañeros de equipo. Siempre hay que poner la cara. Entonces, Pantera, con todo el equipo ahí en la Asunción, estamos muy agradecidos por tu presencia acá, el equipo, dentro del equipo. Dejaste mucha enseñanza, eso es muy importante para lo que nos quedamos acá, para lo que vamos a seguir dentro de este equipo. La calidad de jugador que sos, creo que demostraste, así como dijiste, nunca arrugaste, mantener siempre el mismo espíritu de que cuando necesito jugar en otros clubes y por la selección, y eso es muy bueno. Y te quiero agradecer lo que prestaste para este proyecto, excelente. Cumpliste con todas las letras, como un gran jugador que sos. Mucha suerte donde te toca
Vamos. Para todos a estos muchachos, primero agradecer a Sergio porque es un gran líder de este equipo. Y va para todos los que vinieron de afuera, en la Asunción de su casa, porque ustedes vinieron y vistieron esta camiseta como si fuéramos nomás nosotros, como Ubaldo, como Chupete, como yo, como el Grito, como Josu, como Yari, como todos los que estamos acá, ¿verdad? Así que esta es su casa, muchachos. No se olviden de eso, acá siempre van a tener la puerta abierta. Y nada, gracias, Pander. Y por otro lado, cerramos un lindo año, muchachos. Acuérdense que nosotros estamos poniendo en alto esta camiseta después de mucho. Y eso significa redoblar esfuerzo para el próximo año, ¿verdad? Así que hoy disfrutemos, tomemos una cerveza bien fría y festejemos entre nosotros, muchachos.
Vamos a echar la comarca, nadie se baja, viejo, dale. Todos sin una cosita nomás, ya sé que es pesado. Yo,
Muy pesado.
Muy pesado, ¿verdad? Yo estoy acá desde que tengo 8 y estoy muy feliz, bro. Pese a cualquier comentario que hayan escuchado, leído, no calienta. No es la primera vez. Yo estoy muy feliz con todo lo que vinieron, ¿verdad? Con todo lo que vinieron. Los que vinieron y se tuvieron que ir otra vez por problemas. Viejo, ustedes nos ayudaron a nosotros a levantar esto y a darnos cuenta que necesitábamos 100 veces más, solamente para estar a nivel de ustedes luego, y otras 100 veces más para poder ayudarles. Yo estoy muy agradecido en nombre de mi club, porque, viejo, no se guardaron nunca nada, boludo. Yo no le puedo reclamar a ninguno de los que vino para jugar por el Asunción, yo no le puedo reclamar nada, solamente decirle gracias por todo lo que nos enseñaron, espero que hayan pasado bien, que no le haya faltado nada, y si le faltó algo, viejo, en el futuro prometemos que vamos a compensar eso y vamos a ser mejores, bro. Por favor, todo cabeza arriba, ¿ok? No importa dónde nos quedamos, el tema es cómo nos quedamos. No se pudo dar otro año, pero siempre hay otra oportunidad, viejo. Muchas gracias, equipo.
Una hora por Santa Clara, el público, el referee,
La costumbre de enumerar las posiciones del rugby proviene de la necesidad de poder identificar a los jugadores sobre el terreno de juego en condiciones climáticas adversas. Los dorsales 1, 2 y 3 forman la primera línea, hombres vitales a la hora de dominar la melee y los saques de banda. Para apoyarles en esa faceta aparecen los segundos líneas que llevan a la espalda los números 4 y 5.
Jugadores que estabilizan a la primera línea para que no le empujen y con un empuje más vertical estiran y normalmente también son los que saltan al ser los más altos.
Completan el paquete de delanteros 6, 7 y 8. Su misión principal en el campo es aportar en defensa y liberar el balón en acciones de ataque. Los 3 cuartos comienzan con el medio melee y el apertura, con el 9 y el 10 en la camiseta, los jugadores más técnicos técnicos sobre el campo.
El 9 es el cerebro, el que te tiene que dar los balones, saber por dónde dirigir el ataque, saber colocar a sus jugadores en defensa. Es al final, hay 8 personas que son los delanteros que están empujando sobre todo como locos en la melee, y él es el que les tiene que guiar, el faro.
Los más rápidos son los alas, numerados con el 11 y el 14, que son vitales en ambas zonas del juego. Por su parte, los centros números 12 y 13 aportan mucha presencia física en el ataque y son imprescindibles en la función de placar. El 15 inicial lo completa el zaguero. Es el último baluarte y tiene unas funciones muy claras.
Al incorporarse él cree a la defensa contraria una inferioridad numérica y se aproveche metiéndose él entre líneas, y en defensa sobre todo es el que tiene que recepcionar las patadas.
Todas estas piezas deben encajar como un reloj para que un equipo funcione a la perfección. Los puntos en rugby se pueden conseguir de varias maneras. La primera, y que permite sumar mayor número de puntos, en este caso 5, es el ensayo.
Justo detrás de los palos y en todo lo que es la perpendicular a esa zona está la zona de ensayo. Lo que se tiene que hacer es que el portador del balón pose el balón en la zona de ensayo, y eso te daría 5 puntos.
La opción de transformación daría otros 2 tantos al equipo que lo consiga. La posición de la pelota para el tiro se determina de una manera muy clara, perpendicular siempre a la zona en la que se consiga el ensayo. El golpe de castigo también se puede convertir en una acción para puntuar. Siempre y cuando el árbitro lo autorice, el conjunto beneficiado puede intentar un lanzamiento a palos que valdría 3 puntos. Una forma muy espectacular pero menos habitual de puntuar es el drop, que también vale 3 puntos.
Hacer una patada de bote pronto, metiendo el balón entre los 3 palos. Eso, claro, con un balón ovalado cuesta muchísimo más que, por ejemplo, con un balón redondo. Aparte, los defensores te están saliendo a presionar, con lo cual a la que tienes que dar el bote en el suelo, a la vez articular bien la pierna y meterla entre los palos es bastante complicado, y por eso se intenta poco, sobre todo cuando los equipos no son tan profesionales.
Maneras muy diversas de sumar en un deporte con muchas formas de juego.
Soy el doctor Mario Pesaresi, jefe de división del Hospital Carlos G. Durán de Buenos Aires y ginecólogo de la Clínica Mediterráneo de Almería, España. Hoy, 19 de marzo del 2020, está el mundo azorado, viéndose castigado por una pandemia que lleva a la fecha de hoy cerca de 200.000 afectados. En este momento el mundo está padeciendo una pandemia. ¿Qué es lo que significa? Una enfermedad que se ha hecho epidémica en todo el mundo. El motivo de esta charla es conocer a nuestro enemigo. ¿Por qué digo esto? Porque los últimos 15 años de mi actividad en el Hospital Carlos G. Durán fueron de luchar contra una de las últimas epidemias, una epidemia costosa y dolorosa, que fue la epidemia del VIH-Sida. Para luchar y conseguimos cierto éxito fue desde el punto de vista de nuestra especialidad. Y todo lo que logramos fue en base más que nada a la observación y al conocimiento de la biología del virus. La Organización Mundial de la Salud ha hecho estudios para ver las características de este virus, un virus conocido de hace unos cuantos años, pero que pertenece a una familia que nos trajo otras epidemias de menor repercusión, pero muy asociadas con estas. El coronavirus es un virus que ataca a las células alveolares del pulmón. Los pacientes que fallecen por esta enfermedad fallecen por falla pulmonar, no toma otro tipo de órganos, es decir que es muy específico. Pero como todo virus tiene ciertas características que muestran su debilidad. Por ejemplo, sabemos que es muy sensible a ciertos antisépticos. El alcohol a 70 grados lo inactiva rápidamente, igual que el hipoclorito de sodio, la lavandina, igual que el agua oxigenada. Su persistencia en las superficies depende de qué tipo de superficie. En cuanto a superficies metálicas, sabemos que el cobre es uno de los donde más dura activo. Y tiene otra característica muy especial. Este virus es termolábil. ¿Qué significa esto? La Organización Mundial de la Salud ha fijado que este virus se inactiva a los 56 grados de temperatura. Eso tiene una importancia tremenda porque esa temperatura es la que podemos manejar. Fíjense ustedes que todas las medidas que se han utilizado para frenar la diseminación, que es lo más grave de esta epidemia, es la capacidad de replicación que tiene este virus. Un virus puede fabricar 100.000 copias rápidamente, es decir, que cuanto más virus hagamos inactivos, menor replicación va a haber. Esto trae recuerdo que grandes problemas, de repente encontramos que la solución o la manera de mitigar este problema es muy simple. Todas las medidas que se toman, el aislamiento, la limitación, el cierre de actividades, los comercios, la prohibición de la concentración de grandes cantidades de personas, el uso del barbijo, el lavado de las manos, el uso de antisépticos, todo eso es correcto. Cuanto podamos aportar para mejorar esto, bienvenido sea. Esto me recuerda a una situación que nuestras abuelas y madres trataban de mejorar. Acuérdense esos resfríos donde se tenía la mucosa inflamada, una gran secreción nasal, etcétera. ¿Qué hacían? Tomaban un recipiente con agua y cuando comenzaba a hervir y se vaporizaba, nos decían: inclínate, cuidado con no quemarte, respira ese vapor, que era vapor de agua, en un lapso que dure promedio 5 minutos, si pueden aguantar más, y nos ponían una toalla encima para concentrar más el vapor. 3 o 4 veces por día. Ese vapor de agua está muy por encima de los 56 grados. Ese vapor tiene la capacidad de inactivar el virus. Y al inactivar el virus evita la proliferación de los mismos. Con eso vamos a evitar la reproducción o los virus que están asentados en nuestras vías aéreas, llámese mucosa nasal, laringe, tráquea, bronquios, pulmón, y sobre todo evitar la replicación. Es una medida simple, en un momento en que la gente carece a veces de soluciones de ingresos económicos, de limitación donde ir a comprar, no cuesta absolutamente nada. Es algo que se puede hacer en casa y se puede hacer durante 5 minutos, 10 minutos, lo que se pueda sostener, varias veces al día. Está indicado para quién, para todos, señores, para todos. Aquellos que estamos haciendo el aislamiento sin tener síntomas, aquellos que tienen son sospechosos, para todos, porque la limitación de la vida del virus mejora las expectativas de toda la población. Estamos en riesgo. La población mundial está asustada y no debe entrar en pánico. Esto se va a controlar, pero mientras esperamos que nuestros investigadores, nuestros laboratoristas encuentren un tratamiento adecuado, mientras busquen la vacuna que podría solucionar el problema, pasa el tiempo y muere gente. Todo lo que podamos aportar, pequeñas cosas, simples y que mejoran nuestras expectativas, bienvenida sea. Que esas poblaciones de riesgo, sobre todo los sanitarios y personas mayores, no deberían dejar de hacerlo. De esta manera aportaremos algo más al objetivo de limitar esta masacre de gente por esta epidemia. Muchas gracias.
Right, the singing hits the right note. The conditions too. It's the turn of the rugby next. Italy looking to move their game forward by playing in a more liberated way. There were signs in Paris that this policy has substance as well as style. Scotland, they've just lost their free-moving ways. No tries in 2 matches. Twickenham last March seems a long time ago, but this is the kind of day to get things moving again. There is something in the air. We are expecting a really good game here. And Ben O'Keefe of New Zealand will set us on our way. And try and guide us through to that excellent game. Very hungry sides. They need it. It's Italy in the white tops. All the final checks just being made.
Stuart.
We can go. Deep breath for Tommaso Allen. Scored 22 points in this fixture 2 years ago, but still ended on the losing side.
Well, fantastic conditions obviously today. We're expecting both the teams to attack with ball in hand. Can Scotland cope with the pressure? Can Italy find the key to unlock a win?
I just think it's about patience for Scotland. We know Italy are going to come with a lot of bluster early on, and Scotland just need to really target the back end of the half. And Italy punch themselves out a little bit, but they have to take their opportunities, and it's not necessarily about taking them on the first phase when they make a break, but getting into those danger areas and then capitalising.
Give the space and the balance for good scrums all day.
Chris Smith with a shake of the head, early mistake. I was talking with Gregor Townsend yesterday, and we talked about the need to get on top of not just the opposition but the crowd here. Scotland have been making fast starts.
Keep it behind there, keep it.
Haven't had the tries or the wins to go with them. Controlled at the base by Magnus Bradbury.
There's a slip, no one's
Early
forward.
touch for Kinghorn, who came off the wing, allowing a little bit more space for Hastings to put that crossfield kick into the sun.
Second knock on, boys.
It is a knock on, but it was an interesting tactic.
I think Scotland will mind too much. I think the first scrum, Sutherland really had Zilocki in a bit of trouble there. Ben O'Keefe keen not to have a reset on the first scrum, so made them play it, but Sutherland is going to target this Italian tight head.
And what about that ball coming out of the shadow into the sun?
Yeah, perfect from Adam Hastings. That cross kick, Sean Maitland right under it. Just a knock on there. I think it was from Harris who was chasing there, but accuracy is what is also key for Scotland today. Accuracy in everything that they do. Sign, boys. Crouch!
Ben O'Keefe setting the scrum. He's supported by Mathieu Reynal of France and Ben Whitehouse of Wales. Television match official Rowan Kitt of England. Reset here.
Guys, it's okay. We know that on the bind, okay, we need to have space and not come all the way in. You two here, both of you, have come all the way in. Keep the space like the first scrum, all right?
Setting the parameters early on. Well, Scotland will know all about Ben O'Keefe. He took charge of the famous World Cup game now against Japan.
Sit! Straight up.
Here we go again.
It's just the time that it takes to reset now that's the problem. You're going to have scrums where the balance is lost. But
I need to see a straight back and stay. Okay, don't go
3
down.
minutes 15 into this game, we've had one completed scrum and a lot of standing around.
And even that one went down as well, Ben.
Stay level. The call slow, let's get it right.
See what the referee's trying to do, but his patience at this stage will be wearing thin here.
Sit!
Any twitch and it will be a decision. There it is, penalty. That time it did develop into a contest.
Move your bind down. He's on the arm.
The problem on Ferguson's side,
Down onto the bind.
right in front of referee.
Okay, I need him off the arm. If he does that, it'll be fine.
Just the bind on the wrong place, pulling down, almost bicep curling his opposite number down towards the ground, getting him in an uncomfortable position. This is the view the referee had. Just see
Keep them back here on you.
very tight, short bind, and he just squeezes that right arm, forearm down, doesn't he?
Luca Bigi, the new Italian captain, new to the job in this Six Nations, taken by another new man, in terms of caps, Carone in the second row. He's made a very impressive start to his international career.
He's okay on the ball, but a 6 first 5 numbers. Free kick.
So the decisions going Italy's way early on. Scotland getting the numbers wrong.
It's just a basic error, that, isn't it? Maybe the speed of the line-out contributes to that. It's time to reorganise, but Italy going for a scrum.
I think there's just a long time there. I think you could have counted.
Once the line-out is formed, the numbers have to be even to contest it.
I don't think you need it there.
Crowd asking for the power to come on again here from the Italian scrum. At least the home supporters, plenty have made the trip from Scotland.
Touch! Fine! Sit!
Scrum down again. This time, decision goes Scotland's way.
Yeah, Sutherland, who, despite the penalty going the other way last time, he really has got his opposite number, Zilocki, in all sorts of problems. Twice now, Zilocki's feet have slipped away from him as he tries to get in a better pushing position, but his leg's too far back and you become completely unstable. His foot slides away underneath him, and this time Sutherland's rewarded, but nearly. Well, they've got the extra distance, but it was a risky kick.
Yeah, but Hawk, when he times it right, it goes. But here's the scrum once again. Absolutely. Sutherland gets that edge.
You just see that right leg of Zilocki. There's no way he's going to be able to stay up, but he's so desperate to get so low that Sutherland can't have his impact with the power that he brings.
And that is over the top. And Johnson comes onto it. Worth going for that extra distance and driven forward by Cummings. Ali Price has it. First attacking opportunity. McAnally back in the side as a starter. Price again. And Bradbury over his thigh strain. And Price spins it on. And here's Captain Hogg nearly there. These are threatening moments. And Scotland can really take the heat out of the opposition and the crowd with a score here. Price caught in possession. There's no scrum half there for. Ritchie might have to do the job. Feeds, flying in goes Stein. Body's on the line, literally there, the try line for Italy, and they cause the error.
Well, that Achilles heel in Scotland's game, the error coming in there from Bradbury. I just wonder if they should be stretching that defence once they've knocked at the front door. But great throw here, but watch their Price asking for his runners to go round and wrap round him. Hogg had a little go here. But it's this inaccuracy that Scotland are trying to deal with, and on this occasion, you can see the knock on there from Bradbury. Lifted his head a little bit before he actually picked the ball up.
Then before today, 13 entries into the opposition, 22 in 2 matches, no tries to show for it, make that 14.
Again, it goes down to that patience point, isn't it? You almost sense that you need speed, but you also need to make sure your accuracy is there, and it's that desperation to get over the line. The other thing was, as you pointed out about the width, Maitland was in about 40 metres of space. Italy was so narrow defensively. All the Italian eyes in at the breakdown, and just that communication between Hastings and Price to maybe get the ball back in the crossfield kick.
And then you sometimes feel that when Scotland are knocking at the door and the pick and drive and the goal, that they don't set themselves up, they don't command to go wide. And Italy, the easiest tackle to make is the tackle close in. If you stretch that defence, it's hard for a defence to readjust.
What about the scrum? So off you go better, he's holding it up. But not until then. Issues. He's given 4 penalties away. Nobody has conceded more in the competition the first 2 rounds, and that's 2 more here.
Just look at Ziloki's body shape. There is no way, if there's any movement, that he's going to be able to stay on his feet. He's almost in a horizontal position. And Sutherland attacks him, then takes the weight off slightly, and he just collapses. Look at that. There's no way you're going to be able to stay on your feet. The pressure's coming on. He just slips through the hole, and he's not able to chase his feet up quickly and get them underneath his hips anymore.
And the stats show, the evidence of just watching the game shows, he's been better on opposition ball. Is there anything in that?
Well, you usually are, because that's your chance to attack, because the hooker's involved in not striking the ball. The hooker doesn't have to take his foot off. So
on that side, Ben.
poor miss. But yeah, absolutely, you can attack more on the opposition ball because the hooker's not striking for the ball. It's just a 8 against 7 push for a minute in time.
Well, Scotland failed to take advantage of the indiscretion at the scrum. That was a bad miss.
Yeah, it was a miss, and Adam Hastings' head came up. He just thought he slotted it before he actually kicked it. The sign of a good kick is keep the head over the ball.
Everybody was just presuming on a day like this that was sailing through. There's hardly a breath of wind. It's warm without being hot. These are ideal conditions. It's heavily used, this pitch. In football, of course, 2 clubs play here permanently used, therefore, week in, week out, but it is lovingly looked after.
Obviously outside, boys.
And that is out on the full, so mistake starting to emerge here. Apology offered from Adam Hastings, not just off the tee, but out of the hand as well. This is right in the heart of the debate, if you like, with the Finn Russell situation. Of course, it's no making of his. He just has to try and seize his chance. What a talented player he is.
No, no. You guys aren't even on, you're not even on the mark, okay? You must set the line out, especially when it's slow ball. Okay. We're not going to have it quick if you're not doing that. Perfect, okay? Set the line out.
Bramstein taking on the Sergio Parisse role of being first there to see why and wonder what the referee is talking about.
Interesting line-out formation from Italy. They had Minozzi at the front, the winger, and then 3 at the back, and just tried to take them on for height.
Maitland on Brayley. And that's the ball for Scotland. Good strength from the winger. It's on the smaller scrum half, but he dominated the situation. Hamish Watson, not the tallest himself, but my goodness, he packs a punch. And there is Hastings starting to show with ball in hand what he can do. Tanner unable to make his tackle on Johnson.
Hold, wait.
Price. To Watson, that's what he does. Tries to blast his way through. He does a whole lot more as well. His tackling stats are phenomenal. Little chip was timed by Hastings. It's been deflected, might work for Italy. Jaden Hayward gets into the match, the fullback. And then Bellini steps out of trouble there. Now, he shakes the kick again. He's waiting for support. Might as well keep running if he can run like that. And Hayward. Swerve of the hips, and there's support to the left if Italy can get quick ball here. They've seen it. Brayley gets it out. It's on from Allen. On goes Canna. Here's Braunstein. Watson's across. One of those all-important challenges. Does really well to get back. They were stretched, Scotland, and Bellini was dancing up the field.
Yeah, you can just see the attacking intent with Italy here. Bellini, superb step and go. Opened up, carved open the defence. The accuracy from Scotland's kicking game not pairing well. The half ricochet there and charge down. But excellent awareness to find a little bit of space from Hayward there. And then in trouble, Scotland had to scramble, didn't they?
Oh, he didn't see him, but right at the end, Minozzi ran the line on the left shoulder, but all the eyes were pointing the other way. He would have been walking in under the post if they'd been able to see or hear him coming. Missed opportunity for the Italians.
And the two wingers, Bellini and Minozzi, are genuine threats, and you saw Bellini there, but Minozzi too, over his injury problems now, and back in the championship where he made such an impact 2 seasons ago. Good exit here from Scotland. Hogg tries to complete it, and just about does, but there's a chance there for Minozzi to go quickly. Doesn't take it this time.
That was fantastic feat from Bellini, and then he just kept his options open, pumping the pass and dummy passes to drag in those defenders, then that offload over the top, and as the ball spread into the middle, just Minozzi was there, couldn't be found.
Yep, good, good.
Easy throws, fine Stein.
Advantage, 5 on the side.
An advantage here for coming in at the side, offside position. Need to enter from behind the back player. As that maul is formed. And 5 is Scott Cummings.
Number 5, in the side, in front of your own man.
His first Six Nations season.
It's not my job. Yeah. No, they don't need to. They don't need to. You just need to see the good gap in numbers.
Going for the corner.
Well,
the line-out's been working well for Italy, and they've got a great purchase here in Scotland's 22.
You've got to sit the line out, okay?
Just Hamish Watson had gone up to the referee and said, they're messing about with the numbers, they're not telling us. And the referee said, well, it's not my job to tell you. He's just had a little word with the Italians saying you can't come in and show certain numbers at the line out and then disappear.
Perfect.
Everyone's talking to the referee. Staines having another go here. DG has a long hole before the throw, but is accurate, but only with a take.
Penalty coming for early contact from Scotland.
Advantage then to be played out here, and it's covered by Blair Kinghorn, but penalty was already secured. In at the side again, referee's right on top of that.
Time off. I'll talk to you just because it's a forward issue. When the line-out setting, your 2 guys are coming in the side in front of your own man. Twice. Okay.
So in defence?
In defence, okay. They've got to come from their side. At the moment they're going past.
Going to the side of the ball.
Yeah, I've had it twice now.
What Scotland are trying to do is bury Italy into touch and towards the touchline. But you've got to join from behind the ball, theoretically. There's a little bit of leeway, but if the jumper's going up, you can't then go in front of him and start burying them more towards the touchline. A lot of referees don't spot that, but Ben O'Keefe very hot on it today.
And once again, Allen going for that corner. Italy turning the screw.
Stuart McAnally now vice-captain, former captain of course of his country 8 times. Stuart Hogg the captain, but as the forward on the scene to try and work out what's going wrong here. It's taken that time by the highly experienced Alain Ghazzani.
That's one! Okay, hold here. Hold
but
here.
Scotland have got it.
Toulis who comes up with it.
Here's Ritchie.
Yeah, good job. Wait! Use it!
Call of use it, but of course we see this too often these days, the ball just staying at the base. Should be a maximum of 5 seconds after that call of use it.
Perfect. Good.
Still pressure on.
Here it is, hold here, wait.
No turnover this time. Brayley. Canoni. Scotland hold him up. They look to show that to the referee. Italy get to ground, but this will be a turnover. Some tussle between the two sets of forwards here.
Oh, what a tackle that was. Choke tackle.
Comes outside.
Two-man job. Tries to go low and keep low, but Watson there just loops his arm in between the legs and then lifts him back up to his feet.
Brilliant by Watson, wasn't it? The way he targeted the man. And also he had McAnally on the inside. And then, of course, the other open side. He's on the blind side this time round, Jamie Ritchie, and the applause there from Townsend. Good defensive effort there from the back row and McAnally.
Let's go to Marco Bortolami. Marco, your early thoughts?
I think Italy is looking pretty good in defense, and they're forcing Hastings to kick the ball behind the line, and he's not kicking that well at the moment, so it's working for Italy. Set piece is quite a mess, so I think Italy must find dominance in the scrum.
Still struggling at the scrum, another penalty then.
I just think that they're going to have to make a change at some point, because this is going to destroy all the hard work that Italy have put in over the last 10 minutes, camped down in the Scottish half, around the Scottish 22. And again, it's the same man, Sutherland on Zalocki, and Zalocki just in a unattainable, look, he can't stay in that position. Just look, he's almost bent over backwards, trying to keep his legs as low as he can and his feet far back, and as soon as the studs slip, there's only going to be one result. And I think maybe Italy need to change the picture for the referee.
By changing the man, as tough it is on Josue Zalocki. Here's Stuart Hogg. Marco Riccioni is the replacement tight head. Rory Sutherland really going well. He learnt his trade quite late in terms of front row play. Next back rower. For Scotland is age grade level in the back row.
Okay, 13, no.
Cummings has the ball on the floor. McInerney.
So use it 9, it's available.
So let's see how long it takes to use it. Price. Not too bad. Maitland's come across to try and use his height, can't keep it in. His use of the ball in terms of the seconds pretty good, but actually the way he used it, not so good.
Yeah, it's just giving free ball back to Italy to reset and to attack Scotland again. So once again, the error's just mounting up a little bit.
He just go straight to the front to Lavotti. Didn't hang around that time. Marisi wide, Minozzi. And now with the Wasps, chased by Haywood, and Minozzi might get his hands on this. No knock on according to the referee, and Italy have it again. Crowd encouraged, but they're going wide, and they certainly do. Canone got support here. Marisi. But another penalty. Just when Italy are building up ahead of steam.
Oh, the work at the breakdown by Scotland is saving them at times in this opening 20 minutes. Italy playing slightly looser.
Don't walk into the middle.
And we might have seen in the past, maybe, as a result, some of the support players not quite as close and against the back row that Scotland have. And the work that the likes of Hastings are doing, it's a dangerous aspect for Italy, but they need to get some support players there and make sure they capitalise on some of these opportunities they're creating.
But Ben, you can see some of the confidence happening here from Italy. The wide pass, Minozzi with the, or Bellini I should say, with that little chip kick there, and Minozzi, both wingers working well. And you know, if Italy can continue to put that pressure on, deliver that pass, it's the defence from Scotland that's coping.
Bit better news for Zalocki, storming through there at the line out. And Marisi to Haywood. Haywood's strong. And a big boot as well, if given the chance. It's all about the ball carrying here, and Pelledri, he threw it inside, picked out Hastings. He'd done so much of the hard work, and now a chance for Scotland to counter as it breaks up. And Kinghorn puts in the kick down the line. It's well covered by Canna. There's a fly half who's converted now into a centre. The two playmakers being played by Italy. Hastings got the call from his captain Hogg to go wide. He throws the pass, and then we see that blistering pace of Stuart Hogg, the captain. Here's the try. There's the skipper. It's taken until round 3, but it's a goodie.
And what a cracker as well, wasn't it? Hogg full of confidence, and that will help his Scotland team. The captain giving the lead. It was similar to his try last week, wasn't it, against Gloucester, where he went on the outside channel. He was electric down those tram lines, wasn't he? But the space was always on.
Yeah, he spots the opportunity, he knows who he's targeting, he's got the huge frame of Negri, he knows he can do him for pace, and then just that hitch kick to stand up Hayward and go around him. Such a lethal finisher, but the opportunity and the vision to find the space and know exactly where he's going. Just as the game had started to open up for Italy, Scotland reaped the benefits of perhaps a slightly less structured defensive line in front of that man.
Fantastic score, and of course he cuddled it and he caressed it into the ground. No mistake made that time, made light of it with a smile when playing for Exeter. Since the two drops, one defensively, one in attacking sense, just against Ireland when for all money it was a try, and then of course against England a mistake that led to the England score. But Stuart Hogg safely that time. And Hastings' kick, well, it keeps its line. It needed a change, its line stays at 5-0, but Scotland have a try. For Stuart Hogg, 38th start at full-back in the competition. That's a new Scottish record, overtaking Andy Irvine, who could attack like this.
And the hitch kick just absolutely skinned Hayward. It was his intent as well, though. When he threw that dummy pass, he knew Negri was there, and he had the beating of the man right at that moment.
Yeah, the thing that's so impressive about Hogg is his acceleration off a step. So he can almost beat anyone. It's almost Jason Robinson-like, isn't it? That ability to make a step, rock a defender back onto his heels, and then just gas him over those first 2-3 metres.
Here's Tommaso, and it's got chase from McInally. Allen's done really well, though. Brayley. Bromstein. Brayley, who will move to play his club rugby in Italy next season, currently with Gloucester in England. He'll be with Benetton the next campaign. Here's Hogg. Allen. Here's the big boot of Hayward. Hastings.
Thank you, good work.
There's plenty of time to assess the situation. He's going after this himself, won't quite make it. And Hayward gets away from any attempted challenge. Maitland was also there.
Yeah, thank you, Scotland. Eyes up, Max. Eyes up, Max. Okay, who's chasing?
Taken back into the 22, so this will be kept very much alive.
Yep.
Kinghorn, great runner in his own right. Hat-trick in this fixture last year, man of the match, inevitably almost with that. Here's Sam Johnson. With his debut against Italy last year. Hastings again.
Yep, hold on.
It's got Ritchie wide, who's doing his best to get there, but again Allen. But this time Ritchie can make the challenge on the man who catches the ball, and Scotland rocking well and going through, and Sutherland gets in, but referee's just seen a bit of
hands or what? Hands, okay. Hands
in the right to bring that ball back.
Ritchie did Ritchie did everything right there to get that turnover, and then well, it was Sutherland, wasn't it, who had put hands on it, who judged that it was still in contact, still in the ruck. just sense that Scotland need to place more of their rugby down in the Italians' half, and they haven't quite established that platform to play any sustained rugby in that area.
Totally agree with you, and get Italy kicking to the likes of Hogg in backfield. We've already seen the result if he gets a broken field to run into, and with Maitland and Kinghorn as well.
Fiji finds his man, in the end almost unchallenged.
Don't change.
Lots of line-out options, Italy. Negri one of them, along with staying in that back row. Canoni, of course, and Zani, the two locks.
Yeah, backwards. Agreed.
Backwards off Tommy Allen.
No, backwards.
There's Marisi back to Brayley, but he's caught in possession, and Scotland.
Boys, just a knock-on. There's players there as well. Just knock-on scrum.
Almost able to bring that away. They will put into the scrum.
Italy maybe just a bit guilty there of thinking about what the next phase is going to be, not sending enough resources to the breakdown, particularly going back to it. And Brayley caught by his opposite number.
So both sides making the meters. No great shock there, of course, in fullbacks on their own can make an awful lot of meters. It's how you make them and what line breaks you can cause. Of course, the all-important line break for Scotland, leading to the try.
Another look at that try. That was Negri left in the back benches, and then suddenly Hayward's gained. And the one thing in all sport is pace. If you've got pace, well, that's a threat. And this man has it in abundance, and the Scotland captain, that will have done his confidence and his team so much good.
Because when he breaks the line, he's gone.
It's also when he's not got the ball, because defences are alert to his attacking threat. So that missed pass for Scotland can be used onto the outside man in terms of hitting Maitland and Kinghorn. So options there, but Scotland have got a good purchase here from the scrum. They want to attack.
Courtesy of the first knock-on from Italy, so Price puts in. Down it goes again. Referee has got his assistant on this side, letting him know, but it's the whole of the front row. Can't single anybody out, is the decision there. So on went Maitland. Price. Of course, the Glasgow connection, Price and Hastings at half-back. There they are. Cummings, big Cummings, sets it up in midfield. See too much of number 13. There he is, Chris Harris, trying to get involved there. Quite got his way yet. Falls the way of Ritchie again, and his work rate, again, like Watson alongside, absolutely phenomenal, those two. And here is Watson now. Engine working fine. There was that slightly forward to Johnson. The referees let it go. And Price is going in here underneath the post.
Wow, it's a really nicely worked move. I must admit, I thought that pass was forward as well. I think the TMO will check it. And Hastings just been told by the referee not to rush the kick. I just want to have a look. But again, that threat of those Scotland back rowers charging through the line. Let's have a look.
The decision was try. We've got the grounding. We're going to show me potential 4 pass.
Always best to check the grounding these days, but let's leave that one to one side. It's all about the pass. Live, and with Ben, I thought it looked a little bit forward as it's eased out of the challenge here.
Well, certainly from that angle it still does, but this will be the key angle, I think.
Just hold the mark as well, please, Kitty. Number 5.
Yeah.
Okay, Kitty, so I've got a decision for you.
I think we can all agree on that one. I'm going to see it again, but the decision's been made.
Yeah, I'm going to stay positive on this because I thought Scotland did really well to set that attacking move with Ritchie, came back in, and then they brought that ball down this near side channel. They create the opportunity. The forward pass is chopped off the try. But Scotland will be a little bit frustrated, but they're finding gaps in that Italian defence.
I think the key is that inside runner following. Anyone gets their hands free. That opportunity to exploit the defence, maybe being a little bit lazy on the inside from an Italian perspective.
And the change is being made at the scrum here. We talked about it. It's at the tight head position. On comes Marco Riccioni to win his 10th cap. He's the youngest member of Italy's recent Rugby World Cup squad, still only 22 years of age. And Josue Solocki, in his 5th cap, is gone.
He's slightly earlier than he was expecting. He sees a tall, tight head. He won't be as low. Gives Sutherland an opportunity to attack.
Turned in. Morisi to Hayward. Referee didn't dwell on that one. Pick up by Morisi again to find Menozzi. Those elusive players. He's lost the ball. But again, it wasn't forward. Kalokana. Brayley. Allen. Scotland up quickly. Real pressure there from Harris. Led the line well. And then with Hugh Jones left out. And Harris tried to score it in this fixture last year. He got the World Cup nod. He's part of the squad. Allen clears too much on it. No. It's made Kinghorn think and work, and he's done really well on both counts. Stuart Hogg finds space. He's in front of Hayward now, and he's off and running. Double tackle, though. Brings down the big man. Brayley again. Allen, it's to the short side. Morisi. 29th birthday today. We know what he wants for it. We know what the whole of Italian rugby want. And it's Scotland who can test the breakdown and get the penalty.
Always that threat on the floor. Watson.
Just Scotland getting a little edge there, aren't they? Ritchie and Watson causing havoc. Yeah, the open side over the top of the ball.
If I was Italy, the one thing I'd be saying to the referee, just quietly, just to keep an up. I think the Scotland players are lying in the tackle just for a fraction of a second, which if you're coming in to clear out the likes of Watson, it just means you can't get your feet in the right position, and all he needs is a 95% hit on him and he'll survive and he'll stay in there. If you get him full on, you can clear him out, but anything other than a perfect hit on him, and Watson's got the ability to stay and ride that challenge.
Okay, 2 captains. Stuart. Luca.
Time for a chat.
Hold.
Ben O'Keefe
Stuart.
to lead the discussion.
Luca, captain.
Stuart Hogg staying where he is. It's Stuart McInally who will do
Boys,
this.
we must come to some sort of agreement between the two of you to get these line-outs sorted. Because both teams now, we're not having good space. Okay. Now what I can do is I can just go free kick penalty. Okay, I've given you the chance up until now to control that. You guys have good space, you set your numbers by yourselves, and we don't have people walking in. Okay, both teams now are doing it, so we're going to have free kicks and penalties.
We'll give numbers our way, they've got to hold them on.
Do you agree? Luca, do you agree? Stuart? Let's sort this out, we've got to have line-outs.
I love Scott Cummings' head just emerging into shot there, nodding away sagely. Eavesdropping, making sure he knows what's happening as well. It goes to Ritchie, referee's happy with that one. It's fair enough, if both sides are doing it, the referee just wants to issue that warning equally, and then if that gap is closed, he will go to the whistle. Here's Hastings to Maitland, who spins that wide, and the space here now for Kinghorn, who puts the brakes on to turn back inside. Price, Watson. In goes Hogg to help with the clear out there. That was important, that little shove. Big Ben Toulis coming to the side.
Thank you.
For the injured Johnny Gray, who's out of the championship with that hand injury. And Sam Johnson, he set it back He needs help though, he can't hold on to it forever, and Italy will make sure that they just drive right over and through and win that ball.
Use it!
Canna acts as scrum half. Allen into midfield with Haywood. They're looking to play. Set their stall out, Italy, to change their game in that respect. Always look to see if the attack is on, and that's exactly what Hastings has done here.
You pushed him, you pushed
But
him.
Canna covered. Here's Lavotti. More experienced on the loose head side, his 43rd cap today. Good hands, swiftly through the backs, and on it goes to big dangerous Bellini, but he just ran out of space. Scotland defended that well.
They did. There's great structure, isn't there, in the Italian lines are running. The way they're using the forwards and then the backs, they know where the space is. The shepherding defence.
That's what we talked about, space.
Was good from Scotland as Kinghorn just squeezed his man.
In the middle there, Benny.
Perfect example there of how that touchline, when people say it's your extra defender, just marched Italy towards that position where that was the point of no return. Tackle there from Negri. And Pellegrini is in there. He looks up to the referee and he should smile, and he gets the congratulations from his teammates as well.
Yeah, Italy have their own specialist. Pellegrini, lethal over the ball, such a strong man. A little bit similar to what I was talking about with the Scots, with the tackler lying there, making it difficult for the support players. It's Negri there that just lies in there, holds in. You can see they can't have a straight run to Pellegrini. As a result, the contact's not great. Scotland go off their feet. Pellegrini stays on his feet, wins the battle.
It's a really interesting one because the previous one was with Watson. It's when he's latching on. They latch onto the body. They don't really target the ball. They anchor themselves down. And to get rid of that man is very difficult. But often the ball carrier is the isolated man, and that's when the problem comes in.
Particularly on one of those soak-up tackles. As a competitor on the floor, someone that's going to go at the breakdown, you actually probably want the tackler not to win the collision, and you want the player to fall on your side with the tackler behind him.
Rene towering there at the line out. Two-handed tape, but he wanted to get down, so his pack could get working quickly into their position. Scotland resolutely stood pretty firm there. What about the backs? What about Haywood finding Bellini? We know what he can do. Tackle from Johnson. It's a good target here for Brayley, and then Canna and Minozzi's across. Try and cause some havoc. That's a good rip though. Harris involved. And Hastings clears. And it comes straight back. It's a long way back now for Tommaso Allen. Needs some help. Gets it from Luca Marisi. Well, that's a bit of a mess. Falling on the wrong side maybe. And yes, referee had to give the penalty in the end.
You can't win the ball with him lying there.
Bradbury had taken up residence.
Interesting though, Italy's success is happening in and around the fullback, isn't it? Those long floated passes to run onto at the corner of the defensive line, take those easy meters, try and get Scotland scrambling across the field, and then step back on the inside and try and pick off some of those defenders who are racing to get out wide. See, Haywood was always going to get onto that corner. Kinghorn reads him, but then they try and cut back. Scotland hold firm.
Yeah, Harris with some good play, and earlier on, that's one of the reasons that Harris is in there, to marshal that defence. But as I said earlier on, the structure that Italy have got, the width through Franco Smith, their coach, it's really evident the way they're playing their game.
So spending time in the Scotland 22, but without the points to show for it. So a bit of a tactical change. They've turned down kicks before. Not this time. It's a tester on the angle. Well, it's got the distance. And off the upright. It would have sailed on. But it stays at 0 for the home side. Really good strike. Not quite the direction. As close as that. Still time in this first half. Italy in danger of getting to the interval. Still with 0. Memories of their start to the Six Nations. It went on in the second half this season against Wales. Did you?
No, Sex! No! Backwards formed. Backwards formed.
But Scotland hardly out of sight. Still very much in the balance regardless of that 0. Brayley. Canone. Turnover board. Chance for Scotland. Just one last go here before the interval. Hastings scanning. Goes little chip in behind. Might work. Kinghorn got a boot on it.
He's first man.
That goes wide of Hayward then.
Yeah, but he
There really is a chance in behind for Blair Kinghorn.
Come down, Italy. 4. 4. 5.
So this is the final go of this first half. Down from Toulis to Hamish Watson. There's Magnus Bradbury.
No, hands.
Ritchie. And strong with Watson. They've needed to be. Here's Pelledri and Negri. Ritchie again. Oh, that's good line from that man Sam Johnson, who always picks good lines. And see the space on a rugby field. And Harris tries to use his size there. Price, it's very tight, but Hock might be the man to find a way through again. He's got support. Price has lost it. That's gone forward. And the referee will call a halt to this first half, with Scotland having the only score. Stuart Hogg, the captain, with the try, looking for that first win. So too Italy, with that record in this country over time of 6 apiece. Good recent record, Scotland, but Italy still believe here, even though they're yet to get their first points. We'll get the views of Gareth, of Maggie, Sir Ian and Marco at half-time with Jill.
He's never scored a try in the Six Nations. He'll never have a better chance.
Our mum was different. In her will, she left us strict instructions to spend every last penny on the Six Nations. Mum loved the intensity, the rivalry, the camaraderie. This was her purse.
He's never scored a try in the Six Nations. He'll never have a better chance.
From Italy is the fact that that run is 24 championship games lost in a row, 1 in 32. Yes, they will take heart from the closeness of the scoreline, though. They haven't won here for 7 years on this ground. Ireland 2013 lost 18 in a row at this stadium. It's got to be in the mind, there's no doubt about that. From a Scottish point of view, 1 win in 7 Six Nations games for them now. Of course, that failed World Cup campaign.
Let's get this line out.
So pressure on both sides. Let's see who responds in this second half to that pressure.
Okay, keep the space, Italy.
McInally throws, finds Scott Cummings. Riccioni, that change made by Italy in the first half when Silocchi was having a pretty torrid time at the scrum. McInally to Price. Here comes Cummings. That's a really good line from the second row. Made good ground because of it. Ritchie takes it on. positive start from Scotland to this second half. Xander Fagerson. Brother Matt on the bench today. Here's Adam Hastings.
No! Good work.
And Toulis. Price is looking for Maitland. Tackle from Lavotti. Ferguson stopped again. Price again. They're just building, and Watson is getting his way through. And Bradbury looking for that line. Richie, oh, it's lost again. Scoring opportunity.
Been grounded here.
Goes a begging once more.
Oh, so frustrating again. The back row creating all sorts of problems for Italy. It's the initial line of Watson and how he curves his body to get away from the defender as he goes through. That step off the left foot to create the space for Bradbury to run into. And then Bradbury thinks he's laid up the perfect offload, but it's Pelledri who comes in, isn't it, and dislodges the ball, I think. Wonderful initial pass from Watson, puts this man through. And he does so well to lift the ball into the space, but Pelledri alert to it, and just does enough to make sure Richie isn't going over for the glory.
Well, Richie kind of claimed he was tackled before he took contact with the ball, but you have to say that Scotland didn't take that chance again. The accuracy that we talked about just evades the Scottish team at the moment.
Will it hurt them again today? We shall have to wait and see. Italy yet to get on the ball, but failure to take those chances and build a lead and sap the confidence of the opposition because of that. Keep ripping up the paper and start again.
Italy, play the ball!
Nothing comes back for Callum Brayley. He was looking nervous. He had every reason to be. Scotland at that breakdown again.
Richie making amends for his spill over the line by getting another turnover. That's 12 that Italy have conceded in this game. And the Scotland back row are just turning the screw.
It's kickable for the posts, but it's to the touchline that Hogg selects.
Let's talk about the handling accuracy, but Italy's breakdown accuracy hasn't been good enough. There was an opportunity to clear Richie out there and they just missed it. They were loose, ended up trying to roll the man off the initial contact.
Just give time to tell them the ball. Just give time to tell them the ball. Maybe unfair if I don't do that.
Italy making two changes here. Dean Vardy's coming on, and also Giovanni Licata. We'll hear from Marco Bortolami then. He's no doubt going to want to comment about these changes, but also Italy's position at the moment, Marco.
Yeah, we're struggling to get field position. At the moment, Scotland is targeting the first three defenders, and they're making some damage, so these players must stay alert and step into tackle to be as physical as possible.
And these changes, positive?
Well, it's positive.
Let's see if the positive leads to the effect. It's Scotland who take it down, according to referee O'Keefe. It's got very narrow, only Maitland really wide here. The right winger hugging the touchline. Bradbury in there. Cummings as well, nice little offload to find McInally. Price has it. Sutherland on the floor, and Price again, and there's Hastings, and here's Sam Johnson. This is where Italy have defended well. Can they do it again? Been helped along by a rather profligate attitude of Scotland, but they regain their defensive positions, the Italians. Lavotti goes in, but just creeping forward here to the line that matters. Watson seeing how close his side are.
Tackle now, wide.
Step by step, small steps, but they might be very significant ones here. Ferguson, the offloading is good, just changing the point of attack. Even that close in. Trying to find the space and bury through the middle. Price working it back, it is back. Referee takes a close look, Price back in position. Agonisingly close for Scotland, surely not this time. Not the wasted opportunity here. Ferguson.
Yeah, it's good, he's on
It
the
is
line.
really narrow now. It's everybody in line with the posts, left and right. Hawks pulled over now, along with Maitland. Is this the time, therefore, to go a little bit wider? No, Watson's looking forward here. Pick and drive. Italy trying to stay in touch. You know the importance of this score, potentially. Watson and Ritchie, they go together. They try the rip. It was Brayley. Hastings wants it now. Out it comes. Harris is there. And Scotland are there. This time, it is not wasted.
And this time, they remained patient, didn't they? They built it. They were talking to each other. There was a structure to that. And Harris comes in when the time was right. They released it wide and stretched that defence. And that's what I was saying. The easy tackles around the fringes. The difficult tackle is on a slide defence and having to stretch that shoulder.
It's the variation, isn't it? So the pick and go, then the 9 passing to a wider forward, someone looking like they're going to pick and go but giving it to a man outside, then they go wide. Italy have to spread their defence, and then they come narrow again with the pick and go. A load of pick and goes just to set up and narrow up that Italy defence, make, as Scott said, the side-on tackle, and Harris is always going to have the power from that distance to go between 2 defenders, get his arms free, dot it over the line.
Adam Hastings to try and make it 12-0. That post comes into play again, as it did for Italy in the first half with Allen's miss. It's 2 tries now, Hogg and then Harris, his 3rd international try and his 17th cap.
It's running at the hole, isn't it? And it's creating uncertainty in that defence.
Allen restarts. And Hogg boots. And like Hayward, he's got a big one. They can really drill that ball downfield. Manozzi.
No.
He's lost his footing there at the crucial minute and lost the ball because of it.
He tried to place it back in the ruck and he knocked it on.
Big error, isn't it? He knows that he needs a bit of field position, as Marco Bortolami was saying before, unable to get out of their own half in this second period. They need to get down, create a bit of pressure. So good in that first 30 minutes of the game at staying down in Scotland's half. They just haven't been able to get back there.
Might start thinking about taking games to Florence, Italy, if this losing run continues, because that's where they beat South Africa in 2016.
Guys, we're not going to change from the first half, okay? So good space on the vines, no pre-engage. We're sort of the middle here, okay, both sides. Let's get it right.
It's key, isn't it? 65% of the rucks in their own half.
And that's key too. Can't want to go from that position. Penalty count would have worried Scotland at half-time. They've been averaging 11 per game, only 2 matches. Want that in single figures. Keeping it at 6, but that is about to change now. Italy give themselves a little reason to hope here.
And that is a momentum shift, isn't it? Such a weapon for Scotland in the first half.
Bring them back.
Certainly Riccione seems to have made a difference coming on.
Lucid. Angle not staying straight.
Allen finds touch. Italy have the chance to attack. They need to take it.
Big drive, wasn't it? Of course, Dean Budd's also in there as well, and that scrum was solid.
Good space, Scotland, come down.
Licata in as well. 6 forwards on that bench for Italy this afternoon, so you know where they're going to put pressure on in this second half.
There's Budd on for Alessandro Zanni. Should say that he won his 119th cap today, equal Martin Castrogiovanni. And this young Italian talent has definitely been coming through at under 20 level. What can they do here? Well, BG, their new captain, has lost the ball, and Richie's decided to kick it. Manozzi will hope for a bounce here, and in the end, Ball takes control of the situation and just keeps rolling. Richie, good kick.
Just watching here, Matthew.
Good fist of it.
An excellent kick, actually. It relieves a lot of pressure. Mistake, however, by Italy this time in the red zone.
We must have the line out. We didn't have a line out.
The captain spilling the ball, the Italian hooker, which allowed the turnover.
Italy now conceded as many turnovers in this match than they did in their previous 2 matches, all the way through to the 80th minute. So, about half an hour to go. It's a pretty damning stat.
Yeah, it's good.
And that is a pretty useful offload. Brayley hasn't got the wingers chasing this. A couple of forwards doing their best. Novotti and Licata. Ritchie to Hastings. Johnston's going to have to go over the top there, and does, to find Harris and Kinghorn. Kinghorn, good stepping. Italy a man down here. They're receiving treatment. And Hastings has seen the gap, and he's gone through it. Adam Hastings, where's it going to fall? Comes to Giovanni Licata, and off go Italy, and Haywood still playing with 14. Manozzi, he's seeing space all right. Good pass as well. The line is excellent. It's Bellini, and the place suddenly is going wild. Allen goes in. On goes Pelledri. He had support outside. He backs his power and strength and takes it up to that 5-meter line. Bigi, the captain. Haywood. Canoni. On goes the big man. Harrison there. Now a defender, having recently been the try scorer. Brayley. Pelledri has another go. Just wonder if there was a moment for him to keep the ball alive when he took it into contact previously. He's killed the move there, I'm afraid, from his point of view, because it didn't come back. He took it into contact there. It's a penalty, Ben.
Isolated himself. It's fine carrying into contact if you think you can win the collision, but you've got to have some troops with you, and he needed to have a bit more awareness of who was around him. But Hastings' initial break, superb, but just as he looks for that ball back on the inside, gets dislodged in the tackle, and then it opens up for Haywood. He finds Manozzi, no one better to find with his footwork, tries to go on the inside, but just gets that ball away. And then Bellini through. He thinks he's going to make it all the way, and then it just needed a bit of patience. And unfortunately for the Italians, Pelledri just going in alone.
And when Italy break, they do look good, they do look dangerous. And you look at that scoreboard and that 10-point differential, it can go in an instant. Bradbury over the top once again, and a turnover. 15 turnovers that Italy have
Bradbury
conceded.
and Watson, and so that's the key. If you can get 2 players over the ball, they're not necessarily both competing for the ball, but you have to shift Watson, which gives Bradbury the chance to get his hands on the ball, and they get the turnover.
And here's an interesting twist in the tale, because Marco Riccione is the man who's been receiving treatment for some time. He replaced Josue Zilocchi, because Zilocchi just could not hold the scrum up in the first half. Now Zilocchi is warming up to come back on as the specialist prop in that position. First of all, we should say all the best to Marco Riccioni, who is going to need the stretcher cart here to be taken from the field. And there'll be no rush back from the referee here. They'll give the medics every chance to do what they have to do down there. It looks so alarming, but so often it's just precautions being taken, as they should be. And there is aforementioned Zerlocki. What a situation to come back into, and you know that you've been taken off, not for an injury but for poor form.
I think after the last scrum, Scotland were actually calling some of their front row replacements back from warming up. I think they were thinking about changing things up, that it wasn't as successful as it had been. Whether that will change the strategy now.
Yeah, looking down trackside, actually, it looks as though it's a wholesale change in the front row with Brown, Dell and Nell.
Might just let this develop for a few plays, though, because of course what Zerlocki does not want to see is his previous nemesis.
Yeah, absolutely. Certainly Sutherland had the upper hand on him when he was on the field.
Marco Riccioni, and so we wish him well. Scotland planning here, Gregor Townsend, wholesale changes. Talk about the forwards, but we also see George Horn ready to come on, tracksuit off. Matt Fagerson. Taken by Toulis, so those out there, some of them will feel they can absolutely empty the tank in the next couple of minutes. Italy get the turnover. Giving music to their ears.
Those Scotland front row replacements are stripped off. It doesn't look like the replacement's going to be done just yet. Maybe just one more go for Sutherland.
Staying with his hand in there. It's been such an area and a talking point throughout this whole game, the breakdown. For the enthusiast and the anorak, it will be fascinating in there, isn't it? But from the technical point of view and the fluency of the game, it's rather stagnated things at times.
The referee should see it. I'll just take a deep breath here. I say his trained profession.
8, 9, 1 and 3
ophthalmologist. Is that the right way of saying it? An awful lot of words in there, letters in there. But anyway, he should see.
Yeah, let us know what that is, please.
I would not insult you with that, Scott. Bad to give me a history lesson as normal, I'm sure, but there, the change is being made. And in the front row too.
Good control, good stability.
Fresh props, Dell and Nell. Alan Dell, Willem Nell. Twice off the horn at scrum half. Ferguson into the scrum, at the back of the scrum. It's Mauritius Carey. Returning Zerlocki. Brayley. Allen. And some good steps today.
That's good counter.
Latterly from Hastings was making the tackle there. Found real space, didn't it? And that Scotland break through. Ziloki again, ball's following him. Does well. And it was Canoni. Hayward up from fullback. And then Bellini. Callum Brayley getting scragged, but he's still got the ball to the floor. Italy don't have is a scrum half. Benozzi comes in to play that role. The game went on against France, and the defeat in Paris, Italy got stronger and stronger. Finished really well. There's Canna. And it was Licata. And then it's fair game. And Toulouse has seen that. Canna just hobbling a little bit. I think he's running off already, though. Vigi finds Allen, and then it's Marisi. Through the Italian hands this time. Bellini onto Hayward. There's energy about this.
Yeah, the defensive set has been good for Scotland, but what Italy have managed to do is they're looking to attack with depth.
And caused a turnover, then Kinghorn was that a little bit forward. Well, Harris goes on, might be looked at again. Here's Johnson. One was disallowed in the first half because of a forward pass. Here's Hogg. Hogg going on the outside. You get to another breakdown, so it was forward. It's going to be moved on from there when it comes to the TMO, but it doesn't matter because Italy have scrambled back to defend as they had to do there. The game was right on the line.
Yeah, brilliant intervention. There's Brayley just getting caught, and the ball sits nicely for Kinghorn. He accelerates through, gets his hands through the contact, manages to give it to Harris. Haven't quite got the wheels, Scotland, there to break free, but I thought they were unlucky, Italy, at that breakdown, not to get a turnover. And Hogg, again on that outside arc, steps back, accelerates through, but that's really, really good.
Yeah, Hogg fancied his chance outside staying, but it was a 3-on-2, and the lingering figure of Licata could have been squeezed on a 2-on-1 on the outside decisions, and that was perhaps a turning point within the game.
Licata was the man with a lovely pass in the try right at the end in Paris. There were two in that move, weren't there? Those sumptuous offloads where Italy showed exactly what they can do. The game was done, and you have to factor that in as well. So more change. Danilo Fischetti is coming on, and also Guglielmo Palazzani. Fischetti into the front row, Palazzani is scrum half. Vigi, the captain, gets everybody into position to go again as we approach the final quarter here, with still the game far from done. In a bad position for Scotland. It can become a whole lot better, though, if Cummings can dribble this forward. Down goes Canna. It's some desperate defence at times from Italy. They are just about saving themselves here for now. Palazzani. Try last year in that late flurry at Murrayfield. And again, the game was done. Benozzi, and Scotland will like the look of this.
A dreadful line-out from Italy again. It's the same one that they lost in the first half, trying to take Scotland on man for man, just with a simple jumper. The pressure's good. Cummins follows through, gets his foot on it, and then it's all about the pressure. In the end, they get away with it, Italy, but only just, and 10 metres out from their own line. They have to defend a Scotland line-out.
Just a slap back from Steyn, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, but the reason it was a slap back was that Toulouse had put pressure on. Toulouse is a great front jumper, challenges the ball.
Vigi goes, the captain, replaced by Federico Zani. Still to start the test, Zani. 16th cap off the bench. Turnover Italy. Can they turn it around? Still an awful lot to do for a side that hasn't won for such a long time in this championship.
Steyn grinning like a Cheshire cat at the bottom of that one, wasn't he? He just got his hands in body position and disrupted.
Poor setup here, though. Again, under pressure, so that one arm's taken away, maybe slightly illegally, and they can't get the decent setup. You almost want to set yourself with a scrum with the jumper as in the hooker position, but because the jumper's falling all over the place as he comes down, he can't get control of the ball. All the aces go to the defensive side.
Here comes Fraser Brown now, has been starting. Was vice-captain, that went to McAnally, the start and the vice-captaincy goes to McAnally. Taken off in this game.
Come back up again, come back up. Yeah, I think it might be HIA or something.
Rory Hutchinson.
What's going on, boys?
It's his 5th cap, the man who didn't make the World Cup squad. Many people's eyes slightly controversially.
He's had a good year or so, hasn't he, in Northampton's colours, and he's a player that is much more of an attacking threat, not as good a defender as Harris, but he will offer particularly that outside arc break. Really skillful footballer as well.
Yeah, he's also got a good step on him, Ben, and looks at angles, reads them well, but Harris sensibly going for that HIA.
Johnson stays, Hutchinson goes to outside centre, he's covering 10, 12 and 13. He's talented but versatile. He's kicking through yesterday at the captain's run, and he's doing it very well at the end of the session. In these conditions. I like what he found here. Palazzani. It's just about where the receiver Minozzi wanted it, and on the angle that is a pretty good effort to work that round.
Yeah, under real pressure as well. Great timing of the charge from George Horn.
Guys, you're closing the space. I've already talked to you.
Referee had warned them, the gap closed. With a slow get there as well from Italy, and this walked straight into the gap, which has to be maintained to create the fair contest at the line-out. It wasn't. That was an example, the referee just getting sick of it. Watson. Horn. Another with absolutely blistering pace, and he gets the chance.
Thank you, this is a great call.
Hayward.
Yep, good job.
42-0 it was in Cardiff against Wales in round 1. 0 again here for Italy as Dean Budd, their former captain, carries. Well, it's fair to say that Jake Pelledri, if he's going down fighting.
Okay, who's putting on?
In the best possible way.
No. Yep. Yeah,
Stuart Hogg. A couple of minds there, first left then right. Settles on just finding the safety of the forwards. Horn. Watson. His turn to be held up here. It's Brian Stain trying to show to the referee, who smiles and says, no, you've been knocked out the way. Ball's gone to ground.
Hold on.
Split-second decision either way, that can go. But it's taken by Maitland, looking for the offload. Richie was wanting it. Horn switches play, and he's got support there. First from hooker Fraser Brown, and then Johnson, and wide to Kinghorn, who's got Hutchinson going with him. Kinghorn offloads, finds Fraser Brown again.
No loss. Yep. You won it first, but
George Horn to Hastings, still with that Glasgow link at half-back. Horn on for Ali Price. There's the ball, locates it. Brown, aggressive again from Italy, taking Scotland backwards there. All the way through for Adam Hastings, and wow, 3 waiting for him.
Yeah, Italy throwing numbers in the breakdown, and this is what they did to disrupt the French performance a couple of weeks ago. And Scotland are just going to have to stick and be patient with it and manipulate the space.
And maybe exploit something wide when the time is right.
The slow ball that Scotland are getting as a result of that breakdown pressure means that the line speed is good from Italy. They've got time to set their defensive line, and Hastings just starting to struggle a bit with the pressure that he's coming under. Needs some help from his forwards. Dent that line, get them going forward again, and then he can take the ball on the front foot.
Well marched here, Roman style, back to halfway. So, resorting to the kick, it's Horn. It's a useful one though, and Maitland nearly got there, but that's a fine catch from Jaden Hayward. He called for the mark. We will call in Marco Bortolami. Marco.
On you. Yeah, it's Italian physicality is getting better in the last 10 minutes. They're winning the tackles and they're slowing the ball down, so they're more comfortable in defense. Now they're desperate for field position, and they maybe need to play a little bit more off 9 just to get over the advantage line and then shift the ball on the outside.
Okay, Italy, don't close. Keep your space. Yep.
Bougie off the field now. Pellegrini, you can see, has put the tackles in. They've had to stay. Negri. It's been a manful defensive effort at times. Now can they find some attacking ball? Steve Tandy these days working alongside Gregor Townsend in the coaching team with Danny Wilson, Mike Blair, Peter de Villiers, the former French international prop, the specialist at the scrum. It's gone pretty well today. What about this maul? It's rolling. Brown. To find that on Scotland. Horn is claiming that was touched in flight.
Okay, forward touch. Yeah.
It was, according to the officials.
You just sense there's the anticipation around the stadium. You can just feel it. And well, you know, you study my history books, and as the Roman philosopher Elidas Naso, there's no such thing as pure pleasure. Some anxiety always goes with it, and I'm sure many viewers will be watching this game just anxious on whether Scotland can close out the game, or is there a tinderbox moment for Italy to ignite this stadium?
I don't think Scotland can wait for it. That's their problem at the moment. They're almost frightened of pressing the button themselves, waiting, don't want to make a mistake, but they've got to challenge Italy more.
Here's Hutchinson, who does make things happen. Horn. Oh, he's got underneath, that's brilliant. Dodged his way.
Use it!
Very artful way. Still, the Italian tackling is strong that time. They have the power to follow up the tackle with the turnover. A sensational play at the breakdown. Really was. The Kata. A little bit high there. And Canoni. Referee's happy with it. Canna kicks. But he's coming straight back. Hogg will see to that. Has he put too much into it? Yes, he has. So it doesn't come back. Should have seen to it.
I think Italy gets away with that a little bit because Hogg puts it straight into touch, but the opportunity to kick for Italy was much earlier, straight after the turnover. Scotland really caught by surprise. There was a lot of grass in the backfield as the back three weren't in position. They could have got some field position, but now, having been gifted it by Hogg with the put into the line out, they have to get some time down in the Scottish half.
Encouraging signs again from Canoni, the second row, just setting out his international career. And he's replaced by another man just winning his 6th cap, Marco Lazzaroni, who was on the bench in Cardiff, back in the matchday squad today. Grant Gilchrist is coming on, and also Byram Wigan. And as these changes are being made, should tell you about England-Ireland tomorrow, or at least what time you can watch it. And it's happening, and that's your timings for you. England against Ireland at Twickenham. Live on ITV and STV. Bit of a timeout for the players there. Let's put some air back in the lungs. Sun's still out, but it's only that far section of the crowd, really high up, who have been bathed in it this absolutely beautiful day. The sky, the colour of the home jerseys for Italy, and their alternate kit today. Trying to change things on the scoreboard, find that elusive win.
He's in the middle. No, don't dive now. Ball's available. Good work. Ball's available.
Trying to show the patience here, but time is starting to become against them. They will know that too. And approach the final 10 minutes. Pischetti. There's lots of shouting. Hastings up quickly. He's in the firing line of late. His turn to make the tackle. Be first to arrive. Palazzani finds Canna. Here's Lecata. He's looking for all those offloads again. Nearly lost the ball. Kinghorn almost engineering that out of his grasp.
Release.
Up and over.
Let's have a look at that one.
Referee will just ask the TMO to have a look at that. How it occurred. Pelledri.
Okay, hands out.
Palazzani. Floating on out to Minozzi.
Just a penalty. Okay, so we're just playing advantage.
So advantage is being played now.
Back here, lifting tackle.
It was for the illegal tackle.
Probably actually a better result than keeping hold of the ball for Italy. They didn't look like they were going anywhere.
I'm just going to review the
have a
fair play,
little look at something. The opportunity, if it stands for Italy, to kick down deep into Scotland's half.
Lifting blue 19.
Rowan Kipp was having a look at the TMO and was liaising with the referee Ben O'Keefe. Because it's foul play, or potentially something that should or could lead to more.
On the screen now.
Just give us space, Stu.
Sure interpretation of that.
To give you a normal speed one.
It's really difficult to... You see it from this angle.
It's actually the first offence is a high tackle and not releasing, and then the lift of the leg is clear.
Clearly lifted him up.
I think the high tackle will be glossed over. But had he let go immediately, that penalty wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, and on the shoulder. Yeah.
Just listen.
16. No, space. Go back.
Just connectedly had.
So, Kitty, I've got a decision for you.
Chance for a bit of geography.
So the facts are, well, my decision's a yellow card. My facts are clearly it's a lifting tackle. He doesn't need to lift him as he did. It's gone past horizontal. He's come down dangerously on his shoulder.
Agreed.
That's 16. 16.
Man
Kitty,
down.
16.
Concede possession, just checking the number.
16 white.
Federico Zani.
Okay, it's reckless. It's a lifting tackle. He's fallen dangerously on his shoulder, so it's a yellow card.
It's only the second yellow in the tournament, which might seem quite remarkable considering offside has been such a theme, certainly in midfield, but this certainly merits the yellow.
Yeah, well, Scotland have got their get free out of jail card there, haven't they? Because the original penalty from Grant Gilchrist was for the high tackle, and then the tip tackle has resulted in Scotland now being down in the 22 rather than Italy being in Scotland's 22.
Penalty reversed and possibly a reversal of any Italian chances here. They'll take a lot in the last 10 minutes to get the scores they need, and with 14 men, but that might help as the overthrow. And on goes Tuloki. He's not had the best of afternoon. He's given the ball away there as well, just as the forwards were charging up in support with him. Gilchrist, the man who was upturned. Watson.
Tackle now, 20. Good work. He's out.
Tulis. That's a boot in the face of Horn, who didn't like it.
It was a ruck. It's a ruck.
But he's okay.
Yeah, I think that's just in the ruck. Yeah.
Hutchinson to Hogg, and then there's Sam Johnson. Horn. That might have been a little bit of an overreaction from him as well.
It's fine.
Seems to be absolutely fine. No doubt the boot was somewhere near his face, though. There's Hayward. Just can't get out of their own half here. Getting plenty of ball, but it suits Scotland. They'll play without it if it means they move to victory. Of course, with Italy's record, a bonus point would have been part of the conversation for Scotland this week, but they lost their opening two. It's all about the win today. Fischetti again. And there's certainly industry here from Italy, but there needs to be more.
It's been very, very tousy. The breakdown absolutely key. The tackles coming in. 133 for Scotland at the moment. 178 tackles that Italy have had to make.
I think Italy have lost any ingenuity and anything that's going to challenge the Scottish defensive minds, really. It's just a one-on-one tackle that you've got to make. You've got to stand up and make your tackles, and it's too easy for Scotland at the moment.
It's almost like they've got to the end of the exam and they're not bothering to read the final page. Well, my day, I just used to pretend I never saw it. Questions on the back. Scotland have them worked out here, if not worked over.
Yeah, guys, he won the ball.
Most convincing scoreline, but it is a winning score at the moment. Knock on. Italy put in.
Well, it was almost another turnover there by Hamish Watson. 19 turnovers.
Who is it, please?
We talked about the tackle stat. Scotland are certainly throwing them in at the moment.
Team for who?
It's lost its momentum the whole game. As you said, Ben, it's all about there's a lack of attack awareness from this Italian team. Their shape was good. They started to win the contact in the second half that put Scotland under stress. But with that yellow card and the extra man, they're up against it now.
And that stat we've just seen there, only 3% dominant tackles from Scotland, but they're not bothered because that allows their back row to get their hands on the ball before the support get there, and that's why we're seeing so many turnovers. We have had some enjoyment in this game. It might have stagnated a bit in the second half, but that try from Hogg, absolutely superb.
That was a sizzler. That matched the sunshine all right. This was strong from Harris as well. Needed finishing, had to be finished. Fed up with wasted opportunities, Scotland. Not that time. Taken two today. It looks like it will be enough. And somebody has to be sacrificed here because Bigi is back on as the specialist front rower, and it is Bellini who's gone off. So turnover ball here with winger off the field.
Okay. Yeah, so don't look at me and change your sit-up. Okay? Yeah, change your sit-up. Keep the space. Good space. Sit up, please.
So of course, from Italy's point of view, trying to launch an attack now without a member of the back line makes it even more difficult. Just wonder where this leaves them.
Keep it out, keep it out.
Mentally going into their next game, which is away against Ireland. They lost to France, of course they lost. They were always losing at the moment, but there were clear signs in that game. The progression was being made. Quite ashore today. And the scoreline
ball's gone.
Obviously says that. There's Cannon. Palazzani. Zilovki. It's like they're in a cage, isn't it?
One-off runner after one-off runner. Slow ball.
Some sense of satisfaction, of course, for the Scottish defence, and Matt Fagerson shows that. He makes that challenge. Now it's the turnover with the extra man. In goes Nell, on from Watson. Hutchinson kicks it. I'd have wanted to keep that in hand, to be honest, but Hayward brings it away.
Yeah, that was a poor decision by Hutchinson. He should have kept that one in hand. And Hayward, as you said, came away with it, but again, Italy are going to have to attack from deep once again.
We use the word attack in the loosest sense.
No blue!
Canna.
Okay, centre, wait. No. Yep.
He was the man who put it off the field at the end, rather inexplicably against France when Italy had a chance of getting a bonus point. Okay, it was from deep, but they rushed the conversion, and then when the ball was down their end, put the ball off the field. There's a few heads to be scratched. Hastings, Hutchinson is passing this time, finding McGuigan. Great challenge by Desenyu. The two 23s involved. Italy get a penalty. Small wins.
Nakata again. He's very good over the ball, isn't he? Made an impact since he's come on.
Interested to get your thoughts on where Italy would be mentally after this, if it stays like this, which is certainly looking like it will.
Well, just as we're saying, no surprises for the man of the match. The guy who's been brutal at the breakdown for Italy and actually has stopped any sort of momentum that Italy have been able to get in. And I think confidence is such a big thing for this Italian side. If you remember some of the breaks they made in the first half down those wide channels, and they've just gone back to old school Italy type of one-off runners and trying to stay in the game.
Still at the line out, McGuigan tries to chip down the line. Minozzi. Didn't even give themselves Italy a chance there, of a bit of a flourish at the end and a losing bonus point, because that's starting to look like their best bet.
No, 7! Ruck was born.
Watson, the player of the match, in there again. He's a machine, isn't he? Italy throw it around a bit. Staying to Minozzi. Still a long way from the line that matters. Got over halfway though. Canna. Tackles just counting down the clock here from Scotland. Canna stepping out of one of those tackles. On it goes from Licata. Minozzi. Back to Licata. Goodness me, these Italian supporters haven't had much to shout about today, but when they get the chance, they get right behind their team. But it's stolen Gilchrist. Back to Hogg. He looks to launch his side now to finish on a bit of a high. Hutchinson goes. He's got Kinghorn with him, trying to get away from Pelledri, which is not easy, but even Pelledri now tiring, goes back in. Horn.
Ball's out. Play on.
Ball was out. Horn needs help. Gets it. Hastings sees that down that side. It's a stroll. They'll go underneath the post with the widest of smiles. Scotland win when they simply had to.
Oh, it's just Marisi, I think the Italian 13 was the only player down that blind side. He saw the ball bobbling around, thought he could go in and try and dislodge it, and when he didn't come up, just the simplest of walk-ins for Scotland. Scotland want one more go, see if they can get the bonus point. They want it kicked off.
Well, it sums it all up, doesn't it, for the Italians? Here's the turnover, the 21st in the game. They get the turnover, the space is wide because Hogg knows where that is, and look at that. You almost felt that Italy had just run out of steam. Their batteries are empty. Hastings the beneficiary. It's been a tough slog, hasn't it, for Scotland? for Italy. Well, it just hasn't happened for them in the second half.
Final minute, Ben, your final thoughts?
There is positives in what Italy are building, but they're just not able to get any sort of consistency in it, and that's going to be the challenge for them. How do they start to get their good points across for a significant period in the game? Because 10 minutes, 15 minutes at this level just isn't enough. But you're going to get lost if you're changing your style and you're changing to a more open style of play. You are going to get losses along the way that are going to hurt, but it's about staying with that and adapting how you play.
30 seconds.
And it looks like Italy are going to slightly change how they're going to play going forward.
Scott?
Yeah, but you almost feel as though that Italy had to play with a certain amount of territory to then execute their game plan, and because they had to play so deep, it played into Scotland's hands while they just shut up the defence. They've been tackling this whole second half.
And then to see Minozzi, one of their star players, leave, clutching his ribs. There's Hastings again. Scotland looking for a bonus point here. Hutchinson, they're not going to kick it off. Italy did in Paris. Italy get the penalty though.
Stop! 20!
It's confirming that Minozzi is off officially for a head injury assessment, so he got quite a knock.
Boys, everyone just calm down. Don't kick the ball away.
Considering it's all done.
Calm down. Boys, calm down.
But maybe also reflecting how Italy feel.
Thanks.
Going to salvage a bit of pride here, trying to get off nil, which they couldn't do in Cardiff. But at home in Rome.
Calm down, boys. Boys, we don't want anything happening at the end of the game.
Part of the script at all.
We don't want anything happening at the end of the game.
Zani is out of the sim bin for this last attack.
It's over.
Taken by Stain.
Okay, heat gear. No, he's good, he's fine. Don't change.
Any turnover now, and the day is done. Hastings flying up again. He's really trying to get in the face as that came off. Gilchrist falls here eventually to Bissenyi.
No, off, Blue.
Zani.
Tackle, roll.
A bit of making up to do. Left his side in the lurch in that final 10 minutes. Palazzani to Canna, and there's Hayward. Now Scotland will be proud of this nil. They've defended strongly in this second half, most of it inside the Italian half. Now they turn their attention to some potentially try-saving tackles here to keep the opposition in the hutch.
No, lost.
Safely locked up, job done. Palazzani, Fischetti, Lazzaroni, and it's on again. Bellini involved, but they need him back on his feet down that flank. They don't have his pace to go with this chase. Hogg will watch it, he'll make sure. And Scotland will make sure. Hogg wanted to go on, but that was it. The game was done. Yes, Scotland knew they had to win, wanted it, but today needed it. And Gregor Townsend and his team will feel that little bit happier, that little bit better tonight. It's a lift for the Scotland squad before France and then Wales to finish. For Italy, it's a pretty miserable...
Los virus tienen un tamaño que a simple vista no se ven. Son 10 millones de veces más chico de lo que el ojo ve. Este virus vivió siempre en un murciélago. Las personas en China y en Oriente comen murciélagos, pero como está así, no puede ingresar al cuerpo humano y enfermar. Las serpientes se comen los murciélagos y el paso del virus del murciélago a la serpiente o por un laboratorio hizo que este virus adquiriera un receptor. Este receptor posibilita que el virus ingrese a los adultos mayores. De esa manera el virus enferma a los adultos porque puede entrar por la vía respiratoria y genera un cuadro muy grave que se llama neumonía viral. En cambio, cuando este virus quiere entrar a los chicos más chicos, tienen el receptor, pero está inmaduro y no puede adaptar. Los chicos contagian la enfermedad, pero hacen formas leves porque el virus no puede entrar. El virus ingresa siempre por la vía respiratoria. Por la nariz pasa a la faringe, lo que vos llamás garganta, ingresa a la laringe, donde está la fonación, y pasa a la tráquea. Esta es la tráquea, de acá se dividen los bronquios y se divide y va al pulmón con los bronquios. Imagínatelo como un tronco con sus ramas y termina en un saquito que se abre, que hay varios millones, que se llama alvéolo. En el alvéolo se hace la hematosis. Viene la sangre carbooxigenada, sin oxígeno, toma el oxígeno y se vuelve oxigenada. En esta última parte los virus ingresan y se empiezan a reproducir. Esto hace una reacción química que en vez de poder entrar el aire, lo tapa y uno tiene una insuficiencia respiratoria grave. Por eso los pacientes requieren un respirador. Recordá, ingresa por la vía aérea, tanto porque alguien te tose, te habla o estornuda, o vos tocas una superficie y te llevas la mano a la boca, a la nariz y a los ojos. Hoy te voy a contar cómo desactivar el coronavirus. En una botella pones 1 litro de agua y tenés que agregarle 50 mililitros de lavandina común. Medio pocillo o 50 mililitros queda la concentración. Vos la podés pasar a un rociador y esparcís las superficies. Una cosa muy importante, cuando preparás esta solución, usá siempre guantes de cocina y algún protector ocular. El alcohol, que viene al 96 o 97%, tenés que prepararlo de la siguiente manera: 7 partes de alcohol más 3 partes de agua. Lo pones en un recipiente que es multigatillo, con esto lo esparcís, esperás 5 minutos y se murieron los virus, las bacterias, los hongos y los parásitos. Agua oxigenada, que viene al 10%, tomás 3 partes de agua oxigenada y 2 partes de agua, con eso queda el 6. La pones en un envase multigatillo, rociás la superficie que querés limpiar. Hasta hace poco aprendimos a saludar con el codo, algunos con el pie, algunos con la cadera, pero ahora, como el avance de la enfermedad es muy importante, el contagio y la circulación viral, lo que hay que hacer es saludarse con la mano a 2 metros, que es una distancia segura. Saludá con la mano, ya no más con el codo. ¿Te acordás que en el 2009, con la pandemia de la gripe H1N1, aprendimos a estornudar sobre el ángulo del codo, sobre el hombro, y no sobre la mano, porque nos quedaban los virus en la mano? Hoy te doy una nueva recomendación. Cuando vas a estornudar, hacelo sobre un pañuelito o una servilleta de papel descartable. Los virus quedan acá, sacás del bolsillo que llevas una bolsita, lo pones en la bolsita y cuando llegás a tu casa, a la escuela, al trabajo, lo tirás al tacho de basura. Con eso disminuimos la carga viral que queda en el medio ambiente. Cuando vos te cuidás, nos cuidás a todos. Lo que cada uno hace suma o resta al bienestar general. Y no te olvides de lavarte las manos.